Mike. There we go. Can everyone hear us now?
I assume so, hopefully.
Oh, yeah. I guess you gotta...
Were you muted?
I think we were muted this whole time.
Oh, dear.
Oh, wow. Well, welcome to the Infinite Endurance Network, take two.
Take two.
Oh, two-man production here. Oh, man. Thank you for the chat helping us fix that. So I guess if you are tuning in now, this is stream 3 of the Backland Last Man Standing, presented by Nature Nate's Honey and 903 Brewers. I'm here with race director Asher Hamlin, and we are going to bring to you coverage for the last runner standing. Go ahead and let them know who that is.
Yeah. So while we were muted, this is what I was explaining, but we had 2 runners reach 103.5 miles, so that official mark over 100 miles. And those runners were Megan Jackson and William Kent. And upon completion of that land, Megan decided to cede the victory to William Kent, and assuming that he completes this last land, which will be for 108 miles, he will be crowned the 2025 last man standing of the Backland Last Man Standing race. So he's out there right now. He's probably a little over 2 miles into his race. And
we actually can go straight to, we have Nadine on the follow cam, and he is moving.
Look at him go.
He has roughly 2 miles left on this course, and it looks like by his stride that this may be his last land. He is moving well. I'm sure Nadine is more than capable of keeping up with him here. So here's that trail section that first enter. And you also get firsthand seeing the wonderful course marking that Texas Outlaw Running does for their races.
I will comment on Megan. Yeah, she was a super stud going into those last couple lands. We had the last dropout where 3 were still in the race at mile 90. So around that time, she was sort of dealing with an ankle issue, and I think on the land where they would have completed 94 and a half. That actually flared up to the point where she didn't think she was going to be able to get to 100 miles, and that was her, one of her main goals, to be able to get to 100 miles and secure that Backland buckle. But I encouraged her a little bit at the finish line, and she went back and got with her crew, and they got some Tylenol on her, it sounded like, and she persevered, pushed through 2 additional lands, which is 9 miles, by the way. So on a mostly incapacitated ankle, did an additional 9 miles to secure that buckle. And she looked very happy to be done, but she also looked pretty good,
yes, good
power-wise, in good spirits, and she looked like she probably had some run in her. So, but I think it was probably a good time to call it for her and not pushing an injury too far.
Yeah,
so.
The first woman to ever receive the silver buckle in the history of the Backland.
Yep.
It's a really big shout out to her and her efforts. Let's keep rewinding here as we go through the trail. You can see, pretty wide track here. We're doing our best to fix cams here, but it is a nice trail. So even before then, we were mentioning we logged off at 10:30. And what was left were 14 runners. 14 runners left at 10:30. The next land, we counted 4 runners dropped out, and those were Thomas Cerna, Chris Prairie, Kobe Lawson, and Leo Cudo. I want to talk about your experiences with them, seeing them race throughout the day.
Yeah, so honestly, Tomas, Chris, Kobe, Leo, all super strong runners. I was actually asleep at this point because I figured, I needed some shut eye before things got crazy, which is today on Sunday, figuring that this race was going to go to at least 150. So I went ahead and went to sleep, and around the time I went to sleep was about 7, and there were still like 28 runners left. I wake up at probably 1, and we're down to 10. So it was a big drop, big number of drops between, those late night hours. And that's what I always tell people, is that's when the demons come out. That's kind of was my comment to a lot of the runners, is those nighttime hours are the most difficult. Is when you're going to see the most drops. But it's also, the nighttime has a lot of those distance goals that people are looking to achieve. And so, a number of them got to that 100K mark and we're like, all right, I'm set. I've done what I came here to do, and I know I'm probably not going to be overall last man or woman, so we'll just drop it here. I will shout out Haley Wagman. She was our second to last female in, I believe. Let's see. Yeah, second to last female in. And she, prior to this event, had only done up to a marathon. And she persevered and got all the way to 100K, so 63 miles. And so that was really cool. She looked really strong. She was one of the lead runners through a lot of the early lands, and seemed to have had a really good time and achieved a massive distance PR. So that was pretty special to be able to share that.
Yeah, when you look at the history of the race, that 100K mark tends to be the spot a lot of people stop at. It just so happens to coincide with like the night starting and having to navigate all that. But this year, having 4 runners go kind of reset that standard to the 15th land. That's kind of what I'm taking away when I look at those numbers. And then we fast forward 2 more lands, and there are 4 more drops, right? So at land 17, Levi McCoy, Jason Morris, David Rivas, and Brian Taylor. Certain you were up by then. Are you up and down here, David?
David, yes. So okay. I did see most of those drops. Let's see. That was so there was a big spread between the 10th runner out and then that 9 remaining. So I got back whenever there were 9 left, and so I saw Levi and Jason and David, who all, I think David, he dropped in the middle of the lap or in the middle of the land and didn't complete it. Jason completed the land, or actually no, he wasn't in on time, and then Levi, I believe, completed it and was like, I'm good. So Levi, he was a trooper. One of the older guys from the field, looks like he's 45, but he looks super strong, and he said this was his B race for the year. So I'd be interested to see, if this was his A race, would he have been able to go, even further? I'm sure he would have been able to, but it was really cool seeing those guys come in. The word I got from Jason was that his legs were just cooked. He was in good spirits and his gut felt good, but on the lower half, he was just not feeling too hot. I think he had done a lot of walking that last land that he didn't end up completing. So, and then David, David was a trooper all day. He approached this race a little differently than he had in years past. So in years past, he was our front runner for a lot of the lands. And one of the tidbits that we share with him is like, well, maybe if you slowed down, you could make it a little further. But he still led some of the lands today. And actually, he and another fellow by the name of Robert, they two were sharing the lead for the majority of those like 30 and 40 and 50 mile lands. But yeah, it sounded like David got to a point where his heart rate was just too high for him to be able to sustain, and so he called it and wanted to be safe overall. I believe he was tied for 8th place in not completing that land. So some strong runners there at the end, though, and some drops that I wasn't necessarily expecting, but I think that's just the nature of the backland. That 4.5 miles gets people, and it's sort of unexpected. But they made it happen. The people made it happen.
Yeah, and David's efforts over the past day still keep him in the top 3 of all-time land count, which is something that the Infinite Endurance Network has been tracking.
Right.
So before this race, Ryan Roberts was the lead with 42 lands. William Kent adding another 24 here today.
We'll see. He might not stop. We'll see if he actually quits.
Let's see if he actually quits. Yes, I think we're getting the inner or the follow cam still up. I was up all night too, helping actually crewing Will, and he dealt with a few things like normal ultra running things like some blisters, stomach starting to get him, especially the last few hours. So he was kind of had a sigh of relief when he knew he only had to go this last one, but he might change his mind out there. It looked like he's moving really well.
Yep.
And I'm sure Nadine is going to pick him back up here for us. It's starting to rain a little bit. It's nice that the rain kind of waited till the next morning. Pretty windy right now. A few other notable people, like Edgar Lazoya. He's actually a Moab 240 finisher, and he went pretty far into the night. I remember first meeting him at Cap Rock Night Runs. So this wasn't his first Texas Outlaw Running race, and I think he got in when y'all moved the cap to 60. He decided to get in, and he was pretty rock steady all day. Like, let's look at his splits real quick, kind of see how he ended. His last one was 158 or 58 minutes, so he kept it all the way to the end there.
Yep. He finished that last land and pretty much told me that I'm not going to be able to make this next loop. He had done a lot of walking at the towards the tail end of the trail section on the previous land, and he was like, based on all the walking I'm doing, I'm probably not going to be able to make it. So I'm happy with 80 miles. And he called it there. He actually works with another Backlander who coaches him, actually, Abe, who was here last year. And it sounds like they got a pretty good group, pretty good training group up in or down in Midland in Odessa. So I think he was one of the sleeper runners from today. Like, I wasn't expecting him to go as far as he did, and to kind of get to know him throughout the day and see him do as well as he did was really fun. And he seemed good, spiritually and mentally. It was just the physical aspect of the Backland caught up to him by mile 80, which is still pretty awesome.
Yeah, and we talk about how the 4.5 miles every hour on the hour, it compounds, and at this point, hour 24 that Will is running, typically he would be at mile 100, but he'll be at mile 108 upon completion. And 8 miles in the span of 1 hour, that's no joke. That difference. So I think over time it just compounded for all of those athletes. The next one I want to talk about is Brian Taylor. I believe he was a setup that won the best 10. Is that right?
Yes. Yep.
From Wichita Falls, Texas. Really not far from here.
Yep. Yeah. So Brian, he was kind of quiet all day. I mean, he had his group, but I think he was just going back there to his tent with all his buddies, which I'm sure that's a lot of fun. And seemed like he had a pretty good race. Yeah. He was another one of those where it was like, is this going to be one of the guys that goes far? Is he going to go? Will he drop out early? But he went the distance, and I think he finished 5th overall or so.
Yeah, let's check that. And then I was going to go over his splits. Yeah, so
6th overall.
6th overall.
But he tied the 3 others, so it's actually 8th overall. Brian, David, and Jason.
Yeah, and all day he's around the 50-minute range. He has a couple 52s here and there. And he ended his last land in 56 minutes. So, or the last 2 in 56 minutes. So, yeah, coming in pretty close to the gun. Essentially, when you're making that 4-minute warning announcement, he's rolling through the start finish and having to get ready to go back out. Let's now move to Nick Stowers. Like, he came back with a vengeance.
He did.
Go ahead and talk about him.
Yeah, he so I guess last year he did 80 miles.
81.
81 miles last year. Came back with a vengeance and got in 85.
Yeah, he got to the next
85 and a half
level. Yes.
Miles. Nick was super strong all day. He was one of the guys that was coming in really high spirits. I would always say something to him. we've always got some fun banter, and seemed like he had a good crew. It's just kind of fun to watch him towards the end. You know, what's interesting about the Backland is those that are feeling well tend to be more in the front, and those that aren't feeling well, especially in this first little section where they wrap around some of the campground and cut up towards the road to start the out and back section. Those that are in the back of the pack, it seems like those are the ones that are struggling, and naturally those in the front are the ones that are feeling good and going to roll. So Nick, on his last land, got out there, and I could tell he was struggling. He finished the road section, and he came back here, and he was like, I'm good. I'm done. So it was sad to see him go, but he got an 85.5 miles, which was 4.5 miles further than his completed distance from last year. And, you know, he kicked butt. It was fun to watch him go far. He definitely wants that 100. He told me afterwards at the finish line that he was going to come back with a vengeance and get that 100-mile buckle. So I hope that's the case, and that we'll see him next year.
Yeah, Nick all day, when I was doing stream, we were doing stream 2, I kept introducing him as Mr. Stowers, Dr. Stowers, and company, because he had a pack and he was working with the pack, and it really paid off for him.
Yep.
He was definitely able to conserve, and then as the pack deteriorated, then he had to do the work himself, and I think he played that part really smart. You know, there was a pack of about 12 runners for a majority of the day. And even looking at Nick's splits here, he stays, see, 48, a bunch of 48s, some 51s, some 50s, really, really tight pacing, which shows us that he is a person that will be running for a long time.
Yep.
And then even taking it all the way back to 57 minutes for 2 lands, and his final land in 58. So really taking it to the wire. We're going to go back to our follow cam. It looks like she has picked Will back up,
and he's in the
they
home
are
stretch,
running back on the road, right? So we have 35 minutes elapsed, and Will, I think it's on pace for close to 40.
Close to 40. I'm gonna have to get out there and congratulate him at the finish line and see if he wants to do an additional loop. The last thing I will say is I believe our last Robert Baldwin, he was our third place finisher, and just seemed like a really strong. He had a strong head on his shoulders all day, and it was really cool to see him, come in, and he was pleased with the third place finish. He got in 90 miles, and then let those other two get out there for that, last 10 miles before the 100-mile mark. Yeah,
and he really set the pace, going and pacing in the low 40-minute range, the mid 50s, and ran really hard time. Here we have Nadine following Will. He is coming, he's going around the field and coming up, and we will see him here shortly. We can expect him imminently. If you're tuning in now, we did have to move our live stream. William Kent is the last runner standing at the Backland 2025 edition, presented by Nature Nate's Honey Company and 903 Brewers. Nadine continue to stay on him as he comes in through the finish. Here he comes. Let's get our start finish. We're gonna get our start finish cam ready. He is moving, celebrating. He is the 2025 last man standing. He has completed 108 miles. Welcome back, William Kent.
Hey. One more for a course record.
Yes, completing that land in a blazing time, under 38 minutes.
That's true.
Showing he really had a lot left in him.
Tommy, chicken nugget.
Yeah.
Chicken nugget. Where's the old man at? The dang old man.
Congratulations to William Kent. He is the last man standing for the 2025 edition of the Backland. He's now a 2-time champion of the race.
So excited. I was all excited.
And we are going to flex here to a really quick interview with him. If Nadine can get close to the award.
Another buck. I know you got one. This one's going to Katie.
Congratulations.
Oh, Rent's only been running without all these people, man. But now I got something for Rhino next year.
Uh-huh.
We gotta go. We gotta go again. I'm waiting for you, Rhino. Woo! All right. Want to get a picture? Look me up. Yeah. Get your drink. Get your drink. Dude, I got the perfect Backland song for when somebody finishes. What is it? Dude, it's Champion by Carrie Underwood. She starts out saying, I'll be the last one standing.
Wow.
I was like, wow.
Cool.
Man, this is all the homies out here. Family. Merry Christmas. Looks like I might be able to get some gifts. Myself. To buy another bottle of Jack. But you got $2,000 now. Buy your own. True. We drank all that. Yeah, baby. Okay, I gotta take a break. Gotta take a break.
Can I get one for the award?
Okay, be on.
Oh, you drink it all? Oh, by far.
The cooler's in the bitch.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Use that stuff.
So good.
Oh, yeah. Do you need me to touch it in studio or? Okay.
Yeah, really. Dude.
Is the volume on? Okay.
My stomach hurt so bad. I was like, thank God she was like. It wasn't really any pain at all. My tummy hurt. It was a good weather until now. Hot and cool.
Here.
All the other background sucks. Really, I can't do this. Is weird. There's so many people staring at me. I'm like, I'm having a panic attack. One more beer. Can I say stuff in this?
Hello?
No, I can't.
Hello? Hello?
No, I can't. I don't like this thing, bro. Get this thing away from me. I ain't doing no microphone. It makes me feel like I'm doing. Do I need to say stuff?
Anyone you want to thank?
Oh, thank God. Okay, so one, let me just shout out to my girl Katie. Miss you, baby. Let me shout out to mom and sister. Thanks for watching. And holy moly. Okay, Runner, my sponsor, thank you so much for hooking me up with stuff and loving on me and treating me like family. And shout out to Ryan Roberts and Ryan Hill and Leanne for crewing and team, crewing and Mason.
Mason.
The whole production and
He stopped.
and holy cow, Texas Outlaw, all the homies, all the friends I got to meet out here. Shout out to Stowers, if I'm pronouncing right, and RJ and Megan and all the people that competed today. That was awesome. Yeah. I really thought I was going to go like 150 at least, and I didn't want to do that.
Checked it out.
Yeah, that was cool. That was awesome. It was a really good year. I didn't even have to take Advil till like mile 70.
Nice. So what was the hardest part of the whole race?
This? The hardest part of the race? I think the hardest part is when you first start and you're meeting all the people and you're like overstimulated. And you're like trying to like talk to people and you're just like, oh, this is gonna suck. It's gonna be a long day. So yeah, and staying conservative. Because normally I'm a butterfly and I like to scream and best day ever and all the time. And so I was trying to like keep it under wraps and conserve my energy. Because last time I would do push-ups every lap. I'm like, best day ever.
Yeah. Learned from that. Well, looks like it paid off this year.
It did pay off.
Yeah.
I wish I would have went a little farther, but I mean, I'm good, so might as well chill.
Have you thought about what's going to be your victory meal?
Oh,
I
I'm
probably
not
can't
gonna,
think about food
I
right
won't
now.
even
That's
eat for like
fine.
3 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not even a thing in my afterwards.
Totally fair.
Maybe some milk. I love milk. Beer's a good recovery meal. It's party time. It's like Talladega.
Oh
What do I do with my hands? You're not on fire, Ricky Bobby. You know, that's what they do.
I think we're gonna wrap up.
Oh, sweet. I'm glad we're wrapping up because I'm about to go. I'm just probably going to sit here for like 10 hours.
Yeah, get some rest.
All right, again, yes, congratulations to William Kent. He is the last person standing for the 2025 edition of the Backland. I'm going to let Nadine Forrest come back here into studio. Thanks for grabbing all of that beautiful footage. And we're going to do a debrief just a little bit. Right, finishing that land in about 37 minutes. So that is moving. The only fastest land of the day. Welcome back to studio, Nadine. So talk about following him on cam.
Yeah, that victory lap, he was going so fast, like 7-minute pace, even on the trails. He was hard to keep up with.
And I talked with Asher that during the night, I was crewing him, kind of taking naps in between, and he was struggling with blisters. It was typical, like stomach issues, typical ultra things. But then when I think he saw the carrot and he knew what needed to be done to win, he wanted it to be over. He just left it all out there, and he is now a 2-time champion of this race.
Yeah, much deserved. He put it all out there.
Yeah, and the trail conditions, what were some of those things that you saw when you were following him?
Yeah, so it was still pretty wet, probably even wetter than last night. So it definitely, I think with the humidity, the mud just kind of stayed throughout all the race. So there was a little bit to navigate, but it wasn't too crazy.
Yeah, and me and Asher, we debriefed about those nighttime runners and how they did. Congratulations to all of the runners who participated this year. This is the highest number of entrants that we've seen at the Backland, being the 5th annual. So I'm sure it's just going to continue to grow. I know I had a great time bringing you this coverage. Nadine, kind of what are your thoughts on how we did?
This really was a blast, and man, it went by so fast. I couldn't believe when I popped in this morning and all the carnage that happened overnight. I was blown away. Yeah, they all fought really hard today.
Yeah, before we logged off last night, we were thinking maybe 6 people would be getting the buckle this year, and it ended up being 2, William and Megan Jackson, getting that silver buckle. And I think that's just a testament to really how tough this race is. When the night comes, it's really nothing is for certain. Everything can flip over just like that. And those runners really did run till they couldn't, or run till you can't, as the motto is here. And it's been such a great time following the action. This, I guess, 23 hours and 47 minutes.
Yeah, so do you plan on interviewing some of the runners on your podcast?
Yeah, we'll
this week?
definitely do some post-race things.
Excellent.
And I think that would be just great to wrap this all up. I'll let Will, of course, process things a little more, because I'm sure he'll have tons of things to say when he's not cold and riding this high of his victory.
So if you're not yet, go subscribe to his Infinite Endurance Network podcast. That's where all the goodies will be posted.
Yeah, definitely leave comments. If you'd like to see more coverage like this around the state, it's something that we might be interested in doing here in the future, bringing you more races around the state. This format, the vision I had for it, actually went pretty seamless. I was worried about losing power out here, and it only happened once.
Yeah.
And cams are able to come back in. We didn't have to fix mini cams. So in the theory I had about it coming together, it all went great. Again, we want to thank our sponsors, Nature Nate's Honey Company, and 903 Brewers. This is the 2025 Backland Last Man Standing, and that's it. William Kent has done it. He has outlasted every other runner. He is the champion. And we want to thank you all for tuning in to the Infinite Endurance Network. My name is Philip J. Sebastiani, and I'm joined by Nadine Forrest.
Thanks for tuning in.